Greetings, Earthling, and welcome to the Oddball Craze. I'm your host, Bodacious, and this is the show where we take last week's video game news and distill it down to eyedrop-sized chunks. This is Quick Weekly Update. The news cycle was dominated last week by Nintendo Direct information and its aftermath. Since that's most of the interesting topics from last week, let's put those at the end and we'll talk all the non-Nintendo stuff everyone forgot about first. After Sony filed notices and concerns with every governing body on the planet regarding Microsoft's acquisition of Activision, and after they made questionable statements about first-party exclusives and made accusations regarding competitions in the market they themselves also participate in, Sony has now called Microsoft's request for documentations regarding Sony executives as, quote, obvious harassment. Sony has rejected the request for information and is hoping that the FTC will require Microsoft prove relevance before taking any manpower and putting it towards the collection request. It's unclear what Microsoft hopes to find if the request is granted, though it is suspected that anti-competitive conversations with third-party publishers such as Square Enix would greatly help them showcase typical business practices in the video game industry. More information will likely release as we get closer to the FTC date in August. Despite and possibly due to an over-publicized boycott, Hogwarts Legacy performed so well before launch that those who purchased the deluxe edition of the game and got early access were able to make Hogwarts Legacy the second largest launch for a single-player game in Steam's history before it even launched officially. Hogwarts Legacy is an action RPG taking place in an open world set in the Harry Potter universe, so it was expected to perform fairly well. Many may use this as an opportunity to state that boycotts don't work, but it seems like it's just another example of established media being out of touch with what consumers care about. Due to statements from J.K. Rowling in the past, statements which seem to have been purposely twisted and taken out of context, many writers for websites use the opportunity to stir up conflict for clicks. This attention from large companies helped fuel some groups to create and utilize a website that would document streamers that ever played the game to facilitate coordinated harassment. This, of course, led to small channels being damaged by the harassment campaign and left Asian streamers confused as they don't care or have interest in Western society's conflicts. Remember, Earthlings, that media publications rely on your outrage and passionate reactions to remain relevant. In the end, Hogwarts Legacy has proven to be a major success for both Avalanche Studios and WB Games, with 93% of users giving the game a positive review. Warner Brothers must be happy with this show of support, as the studio has shown interest in working with J.K. Rowling to continue expanding the Harry Potter universe in film. CD Projekt Red has made another misstep this week when it was revealed that their latest next-gen patch for The Witcher 3 included female nudity. The genitalia has led the company to state that the inclusion was a mistake, though I guess that depends on who you ask. It seems no publication is pressing for how this mistake was possible, considering the high quality and realistic options made available for the female character's pubic region. Although it was made clear last year that CD Projekt Red would be including community favorite mods to incorporate into the HD updates, it appears there isn't any kind of vetting, reviewing, or approval going on from the developer. An update removing the nudity will be released in the near future, but you don't have to take that update laying down. Since the updates are mostly community mods with minor changes from CD Projekt Red, you can easily grab a collection of files from the internet and have the ultimate Witcher 3 experience. There are even compilation lists to make it as fast and easy as possible to have the most beautiful version of the game. Worried you'll miss out on ray tracing? Don't. It was a marketing ploy that overpromised and underdelivered, with only the most die-hard fans of the company claiming it added any value whatsoever.
Now, you might want to keep your eyes peeled, because these ones are quick.
Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold over 50 million copies, outperforming expectations thanks to a holiday spike in sales. Despite the success of Red Dead Redemption, parent company Take-Two Interactive reported missing sales projections and warning investors to expect higher net losses for the fourth quarter. This will mark a full year of losses for Take-Two. Their largest revenue performers are NBA 2K23 and NBA 2K22, showing that their heavily criticized microtransaction policy is also their most profitable policy. Patches for the PC version of Forspoken are starting to make their way to customers. The first patch is out and includes fixes for button configurations on mice, audio issues, and issues that arise from using Intel hardware, also known as the most popular hardware. This improvement should help since the PC version was the worst performing. Atelier Marie is getting a remake for Switch, PS5, and PS4, as well as PC this summer. Marie is the first game in the now popular Atelier series and will give fans the opportunity to see where it all started, especially fans in North America who haven't had the opportunity before now. Now let's talk about Nintendo's week, starting off with the ad they just ran during the Superb Owl. This advertisement for Super Mario Bros. Plumbing really hit for a guy my age, where the jingle playing is from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, a television program I used to rush home from school to record on a thing called a VCR. There's also a website for Super Mario Bros. Plumbing with testimonials and reviews for the company's services.
Hey, paisanos!
Nothing more to really say. It was a comical commercial aimed at summoning nostalgia from the cold, dead hearts of middle-aged Americans. It worked. So, now let's talk a little bit about that Nintendo Direct and some things we've learned since it aired. For those who missed the Direct, I suggest watching it or finding someone you trust to recap, because there was a lot of stuff going on. Pikmin 4 was finally revealed. I say finally because I suspect this game was completed early in the Switch's life, and Nintendo was waiting for a lull in the release cycle to reveal it to consumers. Fortunately for them, the handy device is popular with consumers, which motivated third-party developers to fill in those first-party gaps. I assume the development teams at Nintendo are working hard on other titles for their next device, so now is the time to start trickling out the projects that will hold interest until the next hardware is ready for mass consumption. Projects like Metroid Prime Remaster, which released immediately after the show. Surprisingly, this is an actual remaster, which is not the norm for Nintendo, who likes to package things up and just release it. This has revamped character models with more polygons, obvious graphical updates, and some new animations. One of the more talked about updates is the refresh on Samus's face model. I have to admit I'm not sure how I feel about it, but at the same time, that original model is worse than my brain remembers it. So there's that. I should probably get used to it though, since I assume this new model will be used for the upcoming Metroid Prime 4, which is being headed up by the same studio. Headed up, Samus's head model. If you're interested in a comparison of Metroid Prime versions, see the link in the description for a fantastic comparison from channel El Anal Ista the Bits. Oh, Anal. After the Direct, we also learned that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will be launching at a price of $70 and that the game will be the largest first-party developed title to date, clocking in at 18.2 gigabytes. If this seems small to you, keep in mind that Breath of the Wild, which no one considers a small game, was only 14.4 gigs, meaning this new title is 20% larger in storage space. Nintendo has been known for their incredible compression techniques, but it's unknown if the extra data equates to a larger game or a better-looking game. Remember, the previous title was originally designed for the Wii U. It was also announced that Zelda Amiibo will once again provide weapons and materials in Tears of the Kingdom, but some Amiibo will also provide additional functionality, such as changing the paraglider's appearance. Only time will tell if Ganon Amiibo will provide a unique paraglider. That way the kids could see me flossing. What's it? Oh, okay. That way the kids could peep my drip. Was that right? This is a pedal watch that doesn't work. Probably a collector's item now. That's right. I got a watch that's out of date. And finally, after all that direct business, surprise releases, and hype about future releases, Nintendo released its financial results for the first 3 quarters and revealed that the company was down almost 2% from the previous year. That means that hardware, software, and accessories only made Nintendo $9.4 billion so far in their fiscal year. The major portion of that is software sales, which were down only 4%, while hardware took a 21.3% drop. This has had the company adjust its full-year forecast to indicate an expectation of $12.1 billion, resulting in a 3% decrease for the year. The company specifically highlighted semiconductor shortages for the hardware sales decrease, though also pointed out that the Switch has now sold over 122 million units since launch. This places it firmly in third place for most gaming devices sold, with only the DS and PlayStation 2 selling more. Some more amazing numbers take place when discussing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which moved over 52 million copies since its release. Moving into the future, Nintendo did revise their expectations for the year and now predict to sell 18 million Switch units as opposed to the 19 million previously expected. Still not bad for a product going into its 7th year of existence. And that's it for this quick weekly update. Like if you like it, comment if you comment it, subscribe if you subscribe it, and if you don't. So long, mortal.